Operations with polynomials. Adding and subtracting two polynomials is quite straightforward. So let's look at those easy examples first. Say I have 3x squared minus 2x minus 5, and I need to add it to negative 2x plus 3. Now, if it is addition, the first thing I want to do is remove the parentheses. If there is no minus sign here, I can rewrite this without the parentheses, 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. And if there's a plus outside, then I don't have to change any sign. So it's negative 2x plus 3. And now I'm going to copy, or I'm going to combine the like terms. This is the only place where I see 3x squared or x squared term. And I see negative 2x, so that's negative 4x. We can combine those two terms and strike them out. Now I have negative 5 plus 3 minus 2. So that's what I get when I add these two polynomials. Now let's talk about subtracting. In fact, let's take the same polynomials, 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. If I have to subtract, the first step is I want to remove the parentheses. And just like in the previous problem, I don't have anything outside here, which means it's positive. So I can remove the parentheses, 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. Now, if I have a negative outside the parentheses, I got to distribute the negative. What negative does is it flips the signs inside. Negative times negative is positive, which means I'm going to have a positive 2x, and negative times positive is negative 3. So that's the difference. When you have a plus, you simply copy those terms, but when you have a minus, those signs will flip. Negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative. Now, in the last step, we will combine like terms. This is the only place where you have x squared. So that's, copy that, and now it's negative 2x. Negative 2x and positive 2x, these are the only two like terms. And they actually cancel each other out, so there is no x. And now you have negative 5 minus 3, that's negative 8. So that's how you add or subtract. Now, multiplication is somewhat complicated. You probably already know how to multiply two binomials. Some people like to call it the FOIL method. Say I have 2x minus 5 and say I have 3x squared plus 7. Then what you do is you multiply each of the term here with each of the term there. So you multiply 2x with 3x squared. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x squared is x cubed. Then you multiply 2x with 7. 2 times 7 is 14, so 2x times 7 is 14x. And then you multiply negative 5 with 3x squared. Be sure to multiply the negative sign as well. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15x squared. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35. And then finally, you want to combine like terms. Looks like there's nothing that could be combined. But let's go ahead and write it in the standard form where you write the highest power first and then you write down the next higher power, which is x squared, and then you write 14x minus 35. All right, so that was an easy multiplication that you probably already knew. Now, I'm going to have two polynomials which are a little bit longer than binomial. The idea is still the same. So let's do this. 3x squared minus 2x plus 5 multiply with negative 4x squared plus 3x minus 8. All right, so now we have some work to do. Each term here multiplies with each term there. So this will multiply with 3 terms. This will multiply with these 3 terms, and this will also multiply with these 3 terms. So altogether you have 9 terms at first. but then you will be subsequently combining like terms and making it shorter. So let's start with this and that. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. You multiply the numbers and you multiply the variables. When you multiply the variables, the exponents get added up. X square times x square becomes x to the fourth. Now you multiply 3x square with 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. X square times x is x cube, because you have 2 copies of x here and 1 copy of x there. Then you multiply 3x square with negative 8. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24x square. So we are done with this term. Let's move on to this. Negative 2x times negative 4x square is positive 8x cube. X times x square is x cube. Negative 2x times 3x is negative 6x square. Then negative 2x times negative 8 is positive 16x. We're done with that. Now multiply 5 with negative 4x square. That's negative 20x square. 5 with 3x, that gives you 15x. And 5 with negative 8 will give you negative 40. All right, at this point, we will combine the like terms. We'll start with the highest power. The highest power is 4, and this is the only term. So let's write that down, negative 12x to the fourth. Once we have fourth power, we will hunt for third powers. We see an x cube here and an x cube there. All right, so 9x cube plus 8x cube. Notice they are both positive. So positive 9, positive 8 is positive 17. So plus 17x cube. And now we look for x square terms. This is negative 24 minus 6. So far it's negative 30. And then I have another negative 20. So that's negative 50x square. So negative 50x square. Now we look for terms that have just x in them in first power. It's 16 and 15. So that's 31x. And now we'll look for the constant terms, and that's the only place where we have a constant. So that's how you multiply two polynomials. We talked about adding, subtracting, and multiplying. Dividing polynomials is somewhat more complicated, and it's also similar to long division of numbers, if you remember that. And we'll cover that in a separate video. Thank you.